Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of St. Joseph's Prep Lacrosse here on WSJP, where today the Hawks of St. Joseph's Prep travel out to Radnor High School to take on the Raptors. This is the Hawks' last out-of-league game before they begin their quest for a PCL championship. The Hawks, to say the least, in the last couple of games have struggled in out-of-league play, suffering losses to the Hill School and to Perkiomen just last Tuesday and Thursday, but they were able to pick up some momentum this past Monday against Archbishop Ryan, who they will see this next Friday in the PCL quarterfinals. They also were able to pick up a dominant win over Father Judge on Senior Day. And today they look to continue that momentum against Radnor High School. For today's broadcast, I'm Ryan Sullivan, and once again, folks, it is just me. Dom Campanero will be back for the PCL playoffs next Friday against Archbishop Ryan. The quarterfinals, the Prep are the favorites to get to the PCL championship, and the other favorite, LaSalle College High School. We will see if that does take place on May 22nd, but today we have to focus on Radnor High School. This is the team that has been absolutely dominant this season. Obviously state champions last season, and now they have some absolutely incredible players. I mean, let's just start off. Tommy Goldstein, their attacker, a junior, committed to Cornell, a 3-star. I mean, we know how great Cornell has been this season in college lacrosse. If you don't know, they're ranked number 1 in the country at the current moment in time, so you know how dominant they can be. And obviously, Goldstein, one of the most dominant attackers in Pennsylvania. And, I mean, you're just looking at Sawyer Smith as well, captain, committed to Mount St. Mary's. I mean, this team is just loaded with talent. They obviously were able to beat the Prep's biggest rival, LaSalle College High School, just last week in a dominant showing that many say wasn't LaSalle's best performance. So, obviously, you know, the Prep, they lost to LaSalle, and Radnor beat LaSalle pretty handily. So, I don't think it gives the audience much confidence. At least when I was talking to people around today, they did not have much confidence in the Hawks. But this is a very, very, very resilient team. They've been able to come back. They've been able to face adversity. You saw it happen against Garnet Valley just early in the season. You've seen them beat out-of-league teams. They just have to pick up that momentum. They were able to do it on Senior Day, on Wednesday, against Father Judge. We know Father Judge and teams like Archbishop Ryan not really up to the level of competition that St. Joseph's Prep, you know, are on. But I think they have a legit shot to win today. It's going to be a close one. It is going to be a very, very, very close game here. We're just going to get underway in just a few moments. Looks like on the scoreboard, at least, at Radnor High School, there is a 1 minute and 30-second timer. The officials, as you can see on your screen, are in the middle of the field. So it looks like we're getting underway in just a few moments now. And the Prep, you know, we got to start off with the face-off. I mean, that's how the game starts. They have struggled in there, to say the very least, as well. Obviously, we've seen different guys such as James McDermott, Drew Reeves. We've seen McDopkin get some reps in there. But, you know, the Prep, I'm looking for them to just come out hot here with the face-off, try to get the ball to their attackers, get their best offensive players up. I'm looking at Dom Flynn. I'm looking at Luke Bieberbach right now. I'm looking to get the ball inside. You know, we're really not able to do that against Perkiomen. Their defense, I mean, it was just one of the most oddest defense I've ever seen in my entire life. They just had everybody clumped inside, and it was just hard for guys like Trot Cush and Greg Webster to receive the ball inside and, you know, really make an impact in there. But today, we'll see how Radnor comes out and plays. Obviously, they want to come out. They want to make a statement against St. Joe's Prep. And, yeah, we're going to see how this goes down. And, obviously, the same set of guys out there for the Hawks, really no changes. But, I mean, you're looking at some injuries right now. You know, you don't have Nick Labor for this game. He's out with an injury. I wouldn't expect to see him. Well, I mean, you wouldn't expect to see him in this game at all. He's not in the lineup for today's game, so don't expect to see him. But expect somebody like Mason Warak to get some extended reps. He's obviously played great over the course of the season. I'm really looking for him. Chris Bryan to get some reps as well. I mean, you're looking at Warak this season, 8 goals, 14 assists. Chris Bryan, 12 goals, 2 assists. I mean, they've really made an impact on these games, and I'm looking for them to do it once here again. And captains, or the starting lineups, meeting in the middle. And then we will get underway. Looks like James McDermott out there to start on the face-offs here today. We've repeatedly seen him start with the face-offs, and we're hoping to win these. We gotta start hot here. It's all about how you start and all about how you finish, they say. And now about to get underway here at Radnor High School. The officials just relaying information over to the teams. Temperature a bit chilly out. The sun did come out a bit earlier after it was raining a bit. You know, kind of on some wet benches here, but it is all right. But, yeah, very windy. Not very windy, but it's, a little bit windy out, a little bit of clouds. You know, it's about to hit the nightfall. So, yeah, we're about to get underway here. James McDermott starting off for the Hawks, and you hear the Prep crowd right behind us. Here we go. Face off here. And this one going to be won by the Hawks. Here's Nick Cunningham, and he is starting out with a burst of energy. Gets it to Bieberbach, gets it inside to Gaffney, who scores! Quinn Gaffney, what a start for the Hawks. That is what you needed. You win the face-off, you get it to your attackers, just like I said, and you get it to Quinn Gaffney, who scores for the Hawks. That is how you needed to start if you are St. Joe's Prep, and that's the momentum you needed. And let's see if they can do it again. And what a great play there by Nick Cunningham. Really made the whole play. Obviously got to give credit to Durham out there, winning the face-off. Just, I mean, absolutely incredible. And now back to the face-off. We'll see if the Prep can win it for a second straight time. They will not. Durham trying to give some stick checks there. Not going to be able to. And this pass dropped at the current moment in time. And now here comes Radnor. Here comes Vitale. Gets it inside. And that is Goldstein, number 15, who I've been talking about. Here's Sawyer. And the Radnor Raptors just swinging the ball around. And now here's Petroni. And now Radnor's trying to get their offensive players back up, trying to take their time here against the Hawks. And now here's Radnor, and great defense there by Nick Dobkin. Getting the stick checks, making sure nobody can get inside. Here's Goldstein behind the net. And he swings it back over to Petroni. And now it swings around. Here's Smith. Once again. Here's Goldstein looking to get him a shot. Not going to be able to. Pass almost intercepted. Shot by Smith. Great save there by Keegan Dunn. And now Dunn, pass all the way to midfield to Chase Carl. And now here comes the offense of the Hawks. Carl looking to find somebody open. Not able to right now, but he is able to find Gaffney, who has a hot start right now. That first goal. Here's Mason Warak. Expect to see him in today's game a lot. And now Warak gets it to Bieberbach. See Dom Flynn back there. He's been great this season as well. Also see CJ Films down there. Look at him go. Flynn swings it back over to Bieberbach. Now the Prep's getting their offensive players back up. See Chris Bryan, Trap Cush. Here's Gaffney now. Back to Flynn. Prep swinging around to Bieberbach. Now to Bryan. Thought about the shot, not going to take it. Over to Warak. Now to Gaffney. Back to Warak again. And the Prep just taking their time as well, trying to find that open shot. They've been trying to find Chris Bryan some shots. Bieberbach loses it. Gets it back. Has to come out with it. And the defense coming in there for Radnor. Great job there by Bieberbach to come up with it. And now here's Dom Flynn. And now here's Quinn Gaffney. And now to Warak. And pass knocked down. Who's going to come up with it? Looks like there's more Radnor guys in the huddle. What a check by Gaffney, but Radnor able to come up with it. And Gaffney comes back with another check. But once again, Radnor able to come up with it. And now, and Cush, he was coming in hot on that one. He's not able to knock it away there, but even though the Prep were not able to score, still a great defensive possession. And now Radnor just trying to get their guys up here. Here's Vitale with it now. He's just swinging around. Here's Niles. Swings it over to Petroni. And now Petroni gets it back. Cunningham, you don't want to face him. You know how aggressive he can be. And now Vitale with it once again. Just a swing arounds here. And now here's Niles. Gets it back to Smith. And now Radnor trying to get a shot here. Here's Goldstein, but defended by Nick Cunningham. He backs up. And now, once again, Radnor just trying to find that perfect shot. We've seen so many teams do that against the Hawks. Obviously, lots of film against St. Joe's Prep. They played a lot of out-of-league competition. You know, that's kind of the best part of their schedule, the games you really want to see. And now the swing around shot on goal, no good there. And it will go to Radnor. And now Goldstein gets it to Smith once again. And now once again the move around. Goldstein shot on goal. It's knocked in the air. Nick Dobkin comes up with it. He's going to try and get it to Keegan Dunn. He's able to. Dunn gets it all the way upfield to Nick Cunningham. And this is where the Prep seem to find some momentum. Cunningham gets it to Bieberbach. Thinking about the shot. He shoots. Not able to score. Who's closest? And it's going to go to the Hawks. Yes, it will. Quinn Gaffney has it. Gaffney gets it to Dom Flynn. Now to Bieberbach. And Cunningham going to move back. Looks like Chris Bryan's going to come up for St. Joe's Prep. And this is what the Hawks will stick with. Here's Bryan. Gets it over to Warak. The freshman out there. You love to see it. Flynn gets it back to Warak. And Radnor's defense come on with two guys at once. Here's Bieberbach thinking about a shot. Not going to take it. Two guys on him as well. The double teams really coming in for Radnor. Might typically see that throughout this game. It's kind of a theme so far. Now here's Chris Bryan. Gets it over to Warak once again. They're trying to get inside. You see Gaffney. You see Cush in there. They do get it to Gaffney. He's looking for Cush, but once again, that defense from Radnor just kind of jumbling up inside there. Or bundling up inside, I guess I should say. And now here is Dom Flynn. Tries to get it inside, and no good there by Trot Cush. And now here's Gaffney swinging it around. Chris Bryan with it now. They've been trying to find him some shots. It's just, he's not really been able to take them. He's not had the opportunity over the past couple of games. Gaffney tried to get it to a cutting Bieberbach. Now just swings it out to Flynn. Flynn trying to get inside. Roll dodge from him, and the stick check's coming in. Great defense there. And now Chris Bryan's trying to find somebody. Finds it to Flynn again. And the Prep getting double teamed a lot here. Not really shooting from the outside. Bryan fakes a shot there. Gets it to Warak. Now back to Bryan. Now over to Flynn once again. Prep not able to get inside. Here's Bieberbach. Or I'm sorry, Gaffney gets it over to Flynn. Now back to Gaffney once again. Flynn, he loses it. And he'll easily come up with it once again, though. And Flynn, I don't know if he was trying to fake a pass there. Not necessarily sure. Flynn shot on goal. Great save. And Bieberbach trying to knock it away. But here comes Radnor in transition. See Trot Cush trying to keep up with his men. And now great roll dodge there. They get it out. And here comes Radnor. Here's Petroni once again with it. And now Radnor's going to swing it around. French gets it out to Smith. And now defenders, offensive players coming up, but the advantage goes to Mush, and now not an opportunity there. Petroni swings it around to Goldstein. They've tried to get him involved so far, but the Preps defense seem to be favoriting him, and why wouldn't they? Definitely one of the best players on this team. You could make the argument for the best player on the team. And now Radnor just going to reset here. Here's Mush once again. Gets it out to Smith. Good defense there by Chase Carl. And now the pass was tipped, but it will stay with Radnor. Nick Cunningham, great defense there on Goldstein. And the roll dodge not too effective, but they're going to get back to him. And now they'll swing it around to Vitale. Now to Smith once again. And the Preps defense, just as good as Radnor so far. They are winning their one-on-ones and defensively, I should say. And here's Vitale once again, swinging around. Here's Much. Vitale. Smith not going to take a shot. Vitale not either. And now here comes the swings around from Radnor. Much trying to get inside. Great defense there by Trot Cush, making him go outside. And you hear the cheers from the Hawks side here. And now fake pass, trying to get inside. Shot on goal. It is good. We are all tied at Radnor High School. It is 1-1. The defense was great there from the Hawks, but Radnor just better offense there in the end. And we are all tied up. And the Prep, offensively, they just got to try and find a way to get inside. They do that like they did on the very first time to Quinn Gaffney. No doubt in my mind that they will score. And to the face-off here once again. Great camera work by our guy, Bobby Wright. Love to see it. And now face-off once again. Durham trying to win this one. Great face-off there by Durham, but he loses it momentarily, and it's still being knocked around. Cunningham comes up with it, and here's Trot Cush, the Prep, with an advantage, and it's actually going to go to Radnor instead of maybe off sides. I was looking upfield and couldn't really see what was going on there, but now the Prep going to have to get back and have to reset. Looked like Trot Kush was not too happy about that. You see Micah Pruden in the game as well for the Hawks. First time seeing him today. And now Radnor with a huge opportunity. Prep sideline barking out orders, and now Vitale once again swinging around. Here's to Smith. Back to Vitale. Once again, great defense there by the Hawks, but Radnor able to get inside, not able to shoot. Smith fakes a pass, now gets it over to Vitale. Back to Smith once again. Good defense once again from the Hawks, making sure nothing gets inside. They've been able to prevent that so far, but they just have to get a stop. Now here's Smith over to Petroni once again. And they're continuing to swing it around. Smith, Vitale. Good recovery there by Drew Reeves. Smith gets it inside. The Goldstein shot. Oh, it is good! And that is how you do it if you're Radnor. You needed that indeed. And now Durham back to the face-offs for the Hawks. And Durham good start. It's loose. Cunningham able to come up with it. And the Prep, they're able to avoid a penalty this go-around, but they do not have numbers. And Cunningham gets to Duffy. Duffy brings a load of energy to St. Joe's Prep. Here's Duffy to Bieberbach. And now the Prep's going to get their offensive players up. Cunningham going to come back in. Brian will come up. Bieberbach gets it to Brian. And now to Craig Webster. Haven't seen him today. They played great against Father Judge and Flynn. Faked the pass. Now gets it to Bieberbach. Just moving around, trying to find a goal opportunity, but not able to. Brian loses it, gets it back. And now here's to Gaffney. Trying to find Webster inside, but Radnor's defense, those double teams, really being effective. Bieberbach not going to take the shot, and he gets it to Flynn now. Flynn to Bieberbach. Now to Brian. Now to Gaffney. Back to Brian. Maybe a shot opportunity. Not going to take it, though. Now to Bieberbach once again. Here's Brian. Now to Gaffney. Flynn just trying to find somebody. 2 minutes remaining here in the quarter. Bieberbach just sidestepping, trying to find something. And Webster just showing himself inside, but the Prep not getting into him. Bieberbach's shot no good. Who's closest? It's going to go to the Hawks. No, it's not. It's actually going to be overturned, and it's going to go to Radnor. Disappointment from the side of St. Joe's Prep. And now Radnor trying to take a 2-goal advantage over the Hawks. On 17, the time on the clock, and Radnor's trying to take in their time here. They don't need to rush. Goldstein was a goal already. And now here's Petroni on the outside. Radnor just looking around, not really moving at all. Gets it out to Mush. And now Mush gets it back once again, and I think Radnor's just going to hold it until the end of the quarter. And who could blame him, honestly? Much swings it back. Now it gets it back. And just a swing around. Here's Niles. Niles actually not even in high school yet. An 8th grader playing on this varsity team, and he just how special he is. Love to see it for him. And now Much gets to Petroni, and now good defense from the Hawks. 10 seconds remaining. Pass gets inside. Goldstein trying to find a shot. The whole defense coming in from St. Joe's Prep, and they're able to prevent Goldstein from getting a shot off. And here's Keegan Dunn. Now the Prep's trying to get something going here, and Cunningham shoots it at the horn, and it will not go. And Radnor at the end of the first quarter lead 2-1 over St. Joe's Prep. And we will go to a break here on WSJP. We'll be right back. Welcome back to St. Joseph's Prep Lacrosse here on WSJP, where Radnor leads over the Hawks 2-1 as we go into the second quarter. And now, new face-off man for Radnor, Eli Doherty. I'm sorry, Doherty. I apologize for that. Face off once again. And that'll be one. Not by anyone momentarily. McDermott has the advantage currently. It goes out of his stick, and he's trying to knock it in. And it'll go out, and it will go to Radnor, the official. It looked like he was about to give it to the Prep, but not going to give it to Radnor. He's going to give it to Radnor instead. And this one goes out of Goldstein's stick. It's knocked around, and this one will stay with Radnor. And I don't know about that one, guys. I thought Radnor had possession of it, and it went out of the stick. Maybe because Cunningham knocked it out of bounds. I think he might have kicked it. I'm not necessarily sure. But regardless, it'll stay with Radnor. Shot on goal. Great save by Dunn. Got low on that one. He's going to have to get it away to Drew Reeves. And now Reeves gets it to Dunn, and we'll see what he does. We obviously have seen Dunn make some long passes. He's going to come out of the net, and he's going to make a beautiful pass to Trot Cush, and Cush gets it to Tommy Duffy. The Prep do not have any sense of numbers right now. And now Cush gets it to Warak. The Prep, I think they're kind of getting their guys who more shoot on the outside, don't really shoot on the inside like Craig Webster in there, because Radnor's doing a great job defending on the inside. Nothing to the fault of the Hawks. It's just Radnor's doing a really great job. And now here's Dom Flynn trying to get the Beaverbach inside, not able to. This pass tipped. Chris Bryan not able to get it momentarily. It's still being knocked around. It's in the air now. And Brian diving for it. It's still knocked around, and it's still loose. Goodness gracious, and it will go into the possession of Radnor, and a timeout called by the Hawks, and it will probably stay with Radnor. I believe the official saying it will go to Radnor nonetheless. And Coach Princehorn having some words with the official out there, but I'll let the viewers decide for themselves what they think of that call. We'll go to a break here on WSJP. We'll be right back. A short break on WSJP, but we're back here. Start things off, and this one will go into the possession of Radnor. I don't think Coach Princehorn realized that it would go into the possession of Radnor. I guess the officials called Radnor having the possession right before Coach Princehorn called that timeout, and now Cush trying to come in there for an interception, but it's knocked loose right now, and Vitale doesn't realize, and now Cush comes up with it, but it's now loose once again. Here's Quinn Gaffney, the prep, trying to get numbers, but a penalty foul called, and it will go into the possession of Radnor. Something's going on. There's timeout called by the officials, and now the prep get it. All right, back to it. For a second, I thought it was called on the prep, and I'm not going to agree with that one. But the prep have it now, and we'll see if they're able to tie the game. Brian thought about a shot. Going to get to Warak instead. And now to Gaffney. Swings it back over to Flynn. Here comes the defense from Radnor. The prep might be able to take advantage, and they do. They get it to Beaver side, and the oohs and ahs from the Hawks side, and they're not able to score. And now, see if the prep can try that again. 9 times out of 10, Beaverbach scores on that one, and that was a few opportunities the prep have had to get it inside. See if they're able to do it again. Here's Chris Bryan. Try to get it to Cush, but he loses it, and it's still knocked around, but Cush once again loses it, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it will go to Radnor. And now Radnor trying to take advantage of the Hawks' mishap there. And the ball just being passed around, but the prep not really going to have it. They're going to try and get their offensive guys to knock it free, but they're not going to be able to do so. Here's Vitale.
You got to call that. You saw it. You saw it. Oh, yeah, because he knows he's wrong. To the field and nothing. You can't just let it go.
And now Goldstein's swinging it around as
Here we go. D.
Vitale with it now. And under 10 minutes remaining. It's been a quick game so far, if you ask me. And now here's Niles. Out of Smith. Back to Niles once again. And now, pass it side shot on goal by Smith. Great save by Keegan Dunn. And I hate to sound repetitive, but he has just made some great saves. And Dunn, a pass really far up the field by Duffy, who's able to receive it, and he is just going to move around with it. And now here's Beaverbach, the prep, trying to get numbers, try to take advantage, but we're not able to. Coach Princehorn barking out orders. I'd like to mention that I personally saw a cross check to the head, but what are you going to do? And now here is Trot Cush, gets it to Chris Bryan, now to Mason Warak. Warak gets it to Gaffney, now to Dom Flynn. Flynn looking for Beaverbach inside, but he gets it out instead to Cush, now to Bryan. Bryan to Warak. Now to Gaffney, the prep trying to move it around quickly. Dom Flynn, try to get an angle, was not able to. Warak shot on goal, no good, but it's going to go to the possession of Radnor. And here we go. Radnor going to, once again, try and take advantage of the prep, not able to score. And Dom Flynn trying to knock it away. Had a good chance, just it's not able to knock it away. And the prep trying to get the ball back here early. And now Radnor with a pretty good opportunity. The prep's defense not really set. And now Radnor is going to back up with it, going to try and reset. And now it looks like Radnor, they have the man up momentarily. They're trying to get Micah Pruden back in there, and now Matt Radnor going to try and take advantage. Goldstein gets it out instead, and now the Prep take advantage of something that was, possibly kind of disastrous as they had the man up for just a few seconds there, that being Radnor. And now Smith will come back up for Radnor.
All right, D, here we go.
And now the swing around. And now good pass inside, shot on goal, no good. And it will stay with Radnor. And now Radnor will give it another go. Here's Smith, gets it out. And now Goldstein gets it back to Smith once again. Niles over to Much. Good defense there by Nick Dobkin. Just not able to knock it free. Much once again. Gets to Petroni. Much swings it over to Niles. And now to Goldstein. Smith once again has it, and Radnor just going to hold it. Nobody's moving for them. Very interesting game plan. And I suppose they're trying to set something up right now. And Keegan Young just waving a stick around as Radnor tries to find something. Here's Goldstein, thought about a shot, not going to take it. Here's Niles, and Petroni almost lost it there. And Radnor just not doing anything with it, just holding it. Just trying to play keep away from the Hawks momentarily. And now here's Smith. Gets it out.
Here we go, Drew.
French swinging it around. I mean, I don't really. How can you analyze this? I mean, the Radnor's just swinging it around. I suppose they're waiting for the Hawks to get tired out. I mean, still hear the encouragement from the crowd, and you love to see it, but not really much to analyze here. I mean, not much is going on, but it looks like Radnor trying to pick it up maybe. Here's Niles with it once again, and he is swinging it around to Smith. Petroni gets it to Smith once again. Good defense from Carl. Pass to Goldstein, who loses it. It's not being knocked around, and Cush comes up with it. The Prep trying to find something in transition. Here's Micah Pruden. Chase Carl calling for it. He's not going to get it to him. Pruden's going to take it himself, and he gets checked there. And now over to Bieberbach. Now to Flynn. The Prep trying to take advantage of numbers, and they will not be able to do so. And the cheers, the hype from the crowd, and the Prep trying to make something happen. Here we go. This is what you need. Under 4 minutes. An opportunity to tie. It's been close. Here's Gaffney. Now to Warak, to Bryan. Craig Webster coming in. I think the Prep realized they've had an opportunity to get inside. And you obviously want to get Webster, someone who can really shoot that shot. And here's Bieberbach. Waiting for Chris Bryan, and that's who he will get it to. Bryan finds Warak, and now swings it back to Bryan. Thinking about a shot, gets it to Bieberbach. Now the Prep starting to swing it around quickly. Here's Flynn, gets it to Bieberbach. Now to Bryan, to Warak, had to kneel to get it, but he still does. Bryan, Bieberbach, not going to shoot. Gets it to Bryan once again. The Prep starting to get a bit closer inside. And now here's Dom Flynn. Flynn gets it to Gaffney. Now to Warak. To Bryan, who shoots. It hits off of Webster, and it's knocked around. The Prep still able to come up with it. Great job there by Chris Bryan, rebounding there. And now here's Bieberbach. Over to Bryan. Bieberbach once again to Flynn. Flynn to Bryan, trying to get inside. Good defense, though. Now to Warak. To Gaffney. Help defense comes in. Warak gets it inside. Shot on goal. No good by Bieberbach. He's had that twice, but he's not been able to score. Who's closest? The Prep. And now the Prep, lucky to get another opportunity like that. And once again, 9 times out of 10, Bieberbach scores that. Might say eight times out of 10 now, but you get my point. Orak gets it out to Brian. Now to Dom Flynn. Gets it inside to Bieberbach. Has to just get it out. Saw the defense coming in. Brian gets it inside to scores to Webster! Craig Webster, and what did I say, folks? Get Craig Webster in the game. You've had the opportunities to get the ball inside, and you just did. Craig Webster gets his first goal of the game. And it is all tied at Radnor. I got very excited on that call, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it. The Prep have had that opportunity. They did not have it against Perky Yeoman. The bench is getting hype for Craig Webster, and we need that hype. I hope you're getting hype at home, ladies and gentlemen. And now here's Durham with the fight, and it's still knocked loose, but it's going to come up for Radnor, and a timeout called by Radnor. And officials rule Radnor who have the possession. And that is how we will go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes remaining. We'll be back on WSJP. Don't go anywhere. Back on WSJP, just over 2 minutes remaining, folks, in the first half. Had an exciting one for you. Well, at least the goals have been exciting, but not too much scoring in the first half. But that's all right. Still been a great game. Still seen some great defense, and you know what they say, defense wins championships, but Radnor will start with it. And here we go. Radnor, I assume they're going to hold for the last 2 minutes. There's Goldstein. Faking a pass, now gets it away. Here's Much. Swinging it over to Goldstein. And now Vitale over to Smith. Vitale once again. And yet you just got to hold it if you're Radnor. I mean, they've held it for a lot longer than 2 minutes, so I wouldn't presume them to do any less this possession. And now Smith once again. And we've had some debate. Do you try and play this press defense to try and get the ball back if you're the Hawks with just over a minute remaining? Debate Dom Campanero and I have had over the course of the season, even off the air. And here's Smith. Tommy Duffy defending him, and I'm loving what he's been doing over the course of the season. And now here's Much. Trying to swing it around. He's going to try and get inside there on Nick Dobkin. Initially, thought he got the win, but he did not. Here's Nick Cunningham with the interception. And now the Prep going to get their own opportunity to score. Gets it to Chase Carl. Now the Prep with some numbers here. Pass to Tommy Duffy. Off the turf. Duffy gets it out. Shot on goal. No good. Gaffney closest to it. And it will go to the Hawks. Timeout by St. Joe's Prep, and they get the ball. 36 seconds remaining. That's what you want to see if you're St. Joe's Prep. Hopefully CJ Films got the call on that interception. I got the video of that interception. And 36 seconds remaining. I won't bring you to a break here on WSJP. Back at it on WSJP for the final 36 seconds. Get your halftime snacks now, ladies and gentlemen. But I wouldn't do it just yet because we have an exciting end to the first half here on WSJP. 36 seconds. Gaffney going to start with it. Here we go. Gaffney to Warak. To Cush. Thinking about the shot, not going to take it. Here's Dom Flynn. To Cush once again. To Warak. Prep trying to get inside, not able to do so. Warak to Flynn. Shot. Goal! Dom Flynn! With the goal, Hawks lead. That is what you needed if you are St. Joe's Prep. You needed to get the momentum, trying to go into the halftime with the lead. We'll see if Durham is able to get this face-off win. Look at Nick Cunningham. The aggression, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, you cannot, but the aggression from Nick Cunningham just in front of me. Durham, good initial start, but was not able to win it. And Dom Flynn almost came up with the interception. 10 seconds, penalty down. And, I don't know, it was very far away from the possession, but 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. And that is how we will go into halftime. St. Joe's Prep with an incredible lead here in the halftime break. And we will go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. Get your halftime snacks now for the second half. You want to do so. We'll be back on WSJP for the second half. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to second half coverage of St. Joseph's Prep Lacrosse here on WSJP. Once again, I'm Ryan Sullivan for today's broadcast, and the Prep currently lead 3-2 over Radnor High School. They look to keep the momentum going. Dom Flynn with a goal with just under 20 seconds remaining in the first half to end it, and now the Prep looking to continue that momentum. And we'll see if they are able to do so. The Prep looking good in the first half. I cannot lie. The defense has been good. The offense, I mean, you could definitely say it's been better than the Radnors. They're up 3-2. Face-offs have been good, and that's what you want to see heading into the PCL playoffs. And if I'm the Prep, I know they've been, with the face-offs, and, they've kind of switched, but I would just keep it with Durham, honestly. And now, Radnor to start things off in the second half. They're going to swing it around, try to tie this game up. And now here is Smith. Smith trying to just get inside. He shoots. Keegan Dunn with the save. Do I even got to say it anymore? And pass all the way upfield to Trakush. The Prep trying to get some numbers. Take advantage of it at least. And now Dom Flynn just going to hold it. He's going to cross pass to Warak, who gets it inside to Kush, but he loses it. And Kush gets checked there, who wanted a penalty, but he's not going to get it. And Kush is just going to have to get back on defense here. Can't argue with the officials. I'm sure Coach Prinshorn is going to notify him of that, as the Prep, they don't really like to, they don't really want the players arguing with the officials, but Keegan Dunn makes a great play, and this pass intercepted. And now, pass inside the goal scene, who jumps and scores. And Radnor get the interception, and you could say it was taken back for a pick six. Goldstein with the goal, and it is all tied up. Not to make the football analogy for my people who just want to hear about lacrosse, but, I thought it was fun. Nonetheless, back to the face-off. And now Durham trying to lay the foundation for the Prep. He's been very aggressive in the face-offs here today. Goldstein, I should mention, 2 goals for him on the day, and he has been really playing great here. Durham, great plays, and it's a foul, hold called on Durham. And now, here come Radnor, and the crowd for the Prep very unhappy. For good reason, I would say. And now this pass knocked away. It might have been a bit low, and the Prep come up with it. So the Prep take advantage of the missed opportunity there. And now here come the Hawks. And now Cunningham loses it. He gets it back. Great play there by Nick Cunningham. And here's Chris Bryan. The Prep had an opportunity there. And Duffy loses it, and he gets it. And there is a cross-check, and it is called. There you go. There it is. I was saying, and now another flag thrown, whistle blown, and yeah, there's some chirping and some stuff going on there in the middle. I kind of threw my hand up there. That was a clear cross-check. But and it is called. Maybe the officials will come over here and tell me the penalty again. I doubt that'll happen, but a man can only dream. I assume the Prep will get the man up. Yeah, they know it. Radnor knows it. They will get the man up. I believe in my opinion, obviously I don't know from what the officials are saying, but I'm going to guess it's a 60-second. I'm just going to point that out there, but yeah, that was definitely a illegal cross check. And the Prep with the man up. We'll see if they're able to take advantage. Cush to Bieberbach. Back to Cush once again. And now to Warak. To Brian, to Flynn. The Prep trying to move it around quickly. Gets it out. Warak, Bieberbach. To Flynn. Flynn to Bieberbach. Bieberbach thought about the shot, not going to take it. Gets it to Warak. Gets it inside. No shot attempt there. Flynn to Bieberbach. Shot on goal. It is good! Luke Bieberbach! And the Prep, as they have done so many times this season, take advantage of the man up and are able to now take the lead over Radnor with 9:15 remaining in the third quarter. And now back to the face-off.
Here we go, Durham. Come on, Prep.
Let's see if they can get a win. The first win of the first half. There's Durham. A hold called on Durham again. Another hold called on Durham, and Smith loses it. Almost recovered by the Prep. Pass over the head of Vitale, and it will go to the Hawks. And now the Prep trying to take advantage. Here comes Chris Bryan over to Mason Warak. Now to Gaffney. Here's Gaffney, and Gaffney passes it over the head of Flynn.
I think it was you and you that I'm going to have to ask to leave. Whoever just told me to shut the F up.
And now, here come Radnor. Great checks there by Dom Flynn, and they throw the penalty. And almost intercepted there by Dobkin. Great job by Smith to come up with it. And now Radnor trying to continue. And now Radnor just swinging it around. Here's Mooch. Niles with it now. Here's Mooch swinging it around. Petroni back to Niles once again. Getting it inside. Shot on goal. It is good by Smith. And it is all tied up. And now Durham back to the face-off after the score there by Radnor. And now the Prep get the call. Hold called there on Radnor. Cush gets it to Bieberbach. We have a competitive game here, folks. Here's Cush. Gets to Flynn. Now to Cush. Once again, here come the Hawks. Now to Warak. To Gaffney. To Warak. Thought about the shot, not going to take it. Now to Cush. Now to Flynn. Cush to Warak. Flynn with it, looking to just try and get it inside. You see Webster in there and Radnor. They are just absolutely smothering him inside. They are not going to let him get free. Gets it out to Cush. Shot on goal. No good. Who's closest? Bieberbach is. And now Gaffney to Flynn. Back to Gaffney once again. Gaffney swinging it around. Here's Bieberbach. Thought about the shot. I was ready to take a deep breath in to yell when he scored. And now Warak running around with it. Gets it inside. Trying to take advantage of the help defense. Great save there. The shot by Gaffney, who's able to recover, and it's loose. Ball in the air. And it looks like Bieberbach is going to be able to come up with it. Who's it going to go to? It will go to the Hawks. And now here's Flynn. Here's to Warak. Try to get it inside to Gaffney. Gets it out to Flynn. Great pass from Gaffney. Shot on goal, no good. And it will remain with the Hawks. And now here's Flynn, cross field pass to Warak. Thought about the shot. I might have been a bit too far on the outside. Here's Gaffney. Gets it inside to Webster. Thinking about the shot. Not able to shoot it there. Would have been a great opportunity. But good defense from Radnor. Give him credit where credit is due. Here's Bieberbach. Not going to take the shot. Over to Warak. Back to Bieberbach once again. Shot on goal. No good. And it will once again be in the possession of the Prep. And here come the Prep. Here comes Warak. Over to Gaffney.
Here we go, Prep.
Now to Warak. To Bieberbach. Warak to Gaffney. Gets it to Flynn. To Warak. To Bieberbach. Thought about the shot. That's a cross check, and there's the penalty. The Prep eventually going to get the man up.
All right, here we go.
Flynn just... Now he's just going to throw the flag out of there. I'll blame you if you're Dom Flynn. And now here's Gaffney. Thought about getting into Webster inside. Gets it to Warak instead, who shoots. And he scores! Mason Warak gets it done, and the Hawks retake the lead. And the Prep get the man up, but they're going to have to win the faceoff to have it really taken advantage of. And here comes Durham. He's been getting very, very aggressive there in the faceoff between Durham, Doherty, and others. And actually, Nick Cunningham is going to come in for the faceoff. And here's the face-off. And it's knocked loose. And it's going to be won there by Radnor. Sad opportunity not taken advantage of for the Hawks. And the Prep crowd not liking it. There should have been a foul call, they were trying to say, on Radnor. Here's Smith with it. Now, here comes Vitale. Oh, you got Tommy Duffy on you. I know the aggression that he has. I've seen it. Might be a smaller defender. But he's now going to bring the heat to Vitale. Duffy knocking him around. Ball, not able to knock the ball loose, though. Vitale gets rid of it to Goldstein. Now to Smith. Smith to move And now to Vitale once again. Now to Goldstein. Just over 3 minutes remaining. I doubt Radnor holds it for that long, but now the Prep don't have the man up anymore. And shot will not go, but it will be in the possession of Radnor. And now here they come. Here comes Smith. Gets it outside. Vitale. Smith gets it to Goldstein. Now to Much. Now to Vitale again. To Much, to Smith. Much thought about a shot, not going to take it. Gets it inside to Petroni. Smith, shot. Great save there by Keegan Dunn, not able to get it. And Drew Reeves is now able to, and Keegan Dunn just gets it out of there. Over to Tommy Duffy. Duffy gets it to Flynn. And now the Prep are going to hold. Here's Flynn. Just trying to have the Prep get their offensive players up. Beaverbach just waiting. And now here comes Chris Bryan. New men in for the Hawks. Under 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Here's to Chris Bryan. Now to Beaverbach. Over to Flynn. Back to Gaffney. Aggressive defense coming in. We'll see if the Prep can take advantage. Over to Bryan. Beaverbach. Now to Flynn. Back to Beaverbach once again. They're trying to get it inside. They're not going to be able to. Here's Chris Bryan. Gets it to Warak. Has a goal in this game. Gaffney. Warak high pass, but he still gets it. Over to Bryan. Thinking about a shot. Going to take it. Not going to be able to score. Great shot, but a great save. And now here comes Radnor. Beaverbach trying to check, and he loses his stick in the process. And he's not going to be able to go get it, though. So it's just going to hang there. Shot on goal. It is good! Vitale scores, and he ties it. It is a back-and-forth game here at Radnor High School. And now Durham with the face-off. We'll see if he can get the Prep to have possession, and I would assume the Prep are going to hold it. I assume both teams would hold it if they get possession. And Durham thought he won it, but he's not going to be able to. It's going to be brought up by Much there. And now Radnor with an opportunity to possibly take the lead as we wind down on the end of the third quarter. And I believe the referee trying to warn the Prep of some illegal checks, but I didn't really see any there, but it could just be a reminder in general. Here's Goldstein, defended by Cunningham, gets it out. Petroni swings it around. Much. Vitale, who just scored, over to Goldstein. He has 2 goals in this game. And now here's Smith trying to get inside. Tommy Duffy defending him. Great roll dodge. Help defense comes in. Pass over to Petroni. And now to Goldstein. Shot on goal. No good. Saved there by Keegan Dunn. This one knocked in the air. Cunningham closest to it. He's going to get it. Backing up. Gets it to Dunn. The Prep. Timeout called. 10 seconds remaining. And they're going to call a... They're going to call... What are they going to call? A push on the Prep. And Radnor's going to have it with 10 seconds. We'll see if they're able to score here and get it away. Here's Vitale. And now the swing around Smith. And it will not be a good pass over to Much to end the third quarter. What an interesting way to end the third quarter if you are St. Joe's Prep. We'll go to a break here on WSJP. Fourth quarter coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to fourth quarter action here on WSJP. And now the face-off. Durham almost had it. And won there by Radnor. Almost intercepted by Gaffney. It was an open net. And now here is Smith with it. And Beaverbach just going to let him go. Smith shot on goal. Keegan Dunn goes down to get it. And now here's Reeves. Back to Dunn. And now over to Webster. Webster finds Cunningham. And the Prep don't have numbers, so they're just going to hold it. Here's Gaffney. Over to Flynn. And now the Prep is going to hold, try and get their offensive guys up. And now Warrack tried to get to Flynn, but Flynn was not able to realize, but he does at the right moment. And now here's Beaverbach. Gets it to Cush, now to Gaffney. Now to Warrack. Now to Gaffney. Once again, he kind of slipped there. Warrack to Gaffney.
Here we go, boys.
And now over to Beaverbach. Gaffney over to Warrack once again, and lots of time left as Flynn loses it. It's knocked around, and Flynn comes up with it, and he's running around with it, gets it to Warrack, back over to Flynn. Now to Gaffney. Roll dodge from him, help defense comes in, it's loose. And it will go to the possession of Radnor. Timeout called, I believe. Yes, it was. It was a timeout called there by Radnor. 10:01 remaining in the fourth quarter. We go to a break here on WSJP. We will be right back. Back on WSJP. It is all tied up at Radnor High School. 5-5, just a second over 10 minutes remaining in this game. And now, here is Smith. Swings it around. Here's Goldstein, swings it out. Patrone to Much. To Smith. Vitale gets it over to Goldstein. Trying to find something inside, not able to. Vitale again. Smith trying to get inside there on Duffy. Shot on goal. It is good! And now Radnor takes the lead. 6-5 over St. Joe's Prep. With 9:33 remaining in the fourth quarter. And now Durham back to the face-off. And now face-off. Knocked around. Micah Pruden trying to come up with it. And it's going to be recovered there by Radnor. Great job. But the pass is intercepted by Gaffney. The Prep have the advantage. Shot on goal. No good. And a pass all the way upfield. And opportunity missed for the Hawks. Here's Goldstein. And now over to Smith.
All right, here we go, D.
And if you are the Prep, you're probably still mourning the loss of that opportunity to score. And now Radnor trying to continue their momentum. Here's Goldstein, swings it out. Here's Vitale, gets it out again. Smith, prudent slipped, help defense comes in. Ball being swung around, Vitale to Goldstein, shot on goal, saved by Keegan Dunn. And now the Prep trying to keep things going. Here's Drew Reeves. Just gets it back over to Cunningham. Cunningham was trying to find somebody upfield, but was not able to do so. Cunningham just going to continue with it, and the ball is lost. And that kind of looked like a push there on Vitale, but not going to be called. And there's a lot of things going on, and a timeout called by the Prep, and they have possession.
There you go, Red.
And now we will go to a break here on WSJP. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back on WSJP, where the Prep have possession of the ball, down 1, 8:28 remaining in the fourth quarter. What have I always said about the fourth quarter? It's clutch time, crunch time, whatever you want to call it. Here come the Hawks. In a second, when the whistle blows. All right, now we got it. Trot to Bieberbach. Bieberbach back to Cush. Probably the best opportunity for the Prep in the fourth quarter. Warrack to Flynn. Can feel the intensity at Radnor High School. Flynn out to Bieberbach. Now to Cush. Cush swings it to Warrack. Now to Flynn. To Gaffney. Just trying to get it inside, but he's going to have to get it outside. The Warrack gets it into Bieberbach. He's not going to be able to shoot. The help defense came in at the perfect moment. And now here is Warrack. Gets to Gaffney. Try to get it inside. It's loose, and it gets a bad bounce. Cush trying to save it, and he does a great job of doing so. And now here's Flynn. Gets to Cush. To Flynn once again. Back to Cush. The Prep. They continue to try to get it inside. Just not were able to there. Bieberbach shot on goal. No good. And that was a close opportunity for the Prep. Just not able to score, and the oohs and ahs were coming in. Here's Warrack. Gets it out. Cush to Flynn. To Cush once again. Gets it inside Bieberbach. The ball was tipped. It's in the air. And who's closest? It's going to be Gaffney. Very lucky there if you're the Prep. It could have been called either way. And the Prep, as I mentioned, very lucky there. Flynn, cross field pass to Warrack. Now to Gaffney, who slips. He's going to have to get it away. He does to Warrack. Gets it inside. It's loose. And it's recovered by Radnor. Teddy Curry, the goalie today. Got to give him credit. He's played great here. He's made some great saves, especially on the shots that have gotten on the inside. This one almost knocked loose. And Looks like offsides called on Radnor. St. Joe's Prep ball. And now the Prep with another opportunity. Chris Bryant coming in the game. Get some fresh blood in there. Now here's Bieberbach. Out to Flynn. Flynn to Bryan. Bryan to Warak. Warak looking for a shot, not going to be able to take it. Over to Gaffney. Help defense coming in. Gaffney out to Bieberbach to Flynn. Thought about the shot. Fake the pass to Bryan. Gets it back to Gaffney. Dangerous pass, shot on goal, no good. Who's closest? It's going to go to Radnor. Dangerous pass by Flynn, and it paid off at that moment, but the score just did not come for the Hawks. And Radnor's done a great job of making sure that help defense comes inside at the perfect moment to make sure that a score is prevented. And now, here come Radnor, just moving it around. No, not necessarily a chance that they would need right now. They're not in need of a goal, but it definitely would be nice. They do have the lead. And now, Radnor just swinging it around. Trying to find an opportunity. They're trying to get inside. And now here's Smith. Smith, roll edge there on Duffy. Help defense comes in. Shot on goal. It's off the crossbar. And Gaffney around. And now Gaffney. Get it. Gaffney trying to get inside. Gets it to Bieberbach. Shot on goal. No good. Who's closest? Gaffney. I think he has to stick closer. He does. And it will go to the Hawks. Fast break there for the Prep, not able to score, but this one is intense, folks. 4:36, you definitely do not want to go anywhere. Now here's Gaffney. Gets it to Bieberbach. And now to Flynn. Flynn to Bieberbach. Back to Flynn once again. Fakes the pass. Gets it back to Bieberbach. Thought about the shot. Now he's going to take it. It is good! Luke Bieberbach ties it up! 4:19 remaining. And the Prep have tied things up. The bench is going wild. The fans are going wild. I feel like I'm going to go wild here. And now Durham for the face-off. And it's knocked around here. Who's going to come up with it? It's going to be Radnor. And they're going to run with it. They're going to hold it. Nick Cunningham trying with the stick checks here, trying to knock it loose, trying to get the Prep an opportunity. Lots of trying from the Prep, but will they be able to execute? Here's Goldstein swinging it around. He's definitely been the Radnor MVP. 2 of 6 goals he has today. Ball being swung around here. Just over 3:30 remaining. Mush gets it around. Smith, Vitale, Goldstein. Now Smith. Shot on goal. It's knocked away by Tommy Duffy. Great play there by Duffy. And now he is going to lead the Prep in transition. Here they come. Duffy with an opportunity shot. No good. But Bieberbach is closest to it. What a play there by Tommy Duffy. Here we go. The momentum seems to be swinging in the way of St. Joe's Prep. Knock on wood if you're at home. And here's Bieberbach. Now to Flynn. To Warak. To Flynn again. to Bieberbach, thinking about the shot. He's going to shoot it, and he will score! Luke Bieberbach, 2 straight goals, and the Prep have taken the lead. 7-6, Hawks. And you hear the cheers from everybody in the crowd, but you got to finish. That has got to be the message from Coach Prinzhorn and his staff. You got to finish the game. Durham with the face-off. Here it is. It's being knocked around, and a hold going to be called on Durham. And now Radnor with an opportunity. Here's Goldstein. Radnor, they've been able to come from behind so many times this game. They're looking to emulate that here. Here's Smith. Gets it to Vitale. And they'll hold it. The Prep need a stop. This is the biggest stop of the game to get if you are the Hawks. Vitale to Smith. To Mush. And Radnor's going to swing it around. Here's Smith to Mush once again. Here's Patron.
Defense!
Here come the swing arounds. We are officially under 2 minutes remaining, folks. Smith to Patron. He thought about the shot. Help defense came in. Smith, roll dodge. Micah Pruden on Smith, but he's going to get it away. Vitale to Goldstein. The Cornell commit, trying to make something happen. Gets it out once again. They're trying to find that perfect shot. Here's Mush to Smith. Think about the shot, not going to take it. Mush. Good defense there by Dobkin. Here's Vitale. Chase Carl, the primary defender. And now Smith tries to get it inside. Good pass, but they're not able to score on that one. Will they be able to here? Smith loses it! Chase Carl running to it, trying with the stick check. Smith comes up with the no. Timeout called by Radnor. 1:10 remaining. The Hawks lead 7-6. What a game here at Radnor High School. I don't see a reason why you would tune out to this broadcast. We'll take a break really quickly here on WSJP. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back here at Radnor High School, the Hawks, yes, they lead 7-6 with 1:10 remaining. The crowd, they are hype. The bench, hype. What else could you say is hype? You can probably hear it in the headphones. The crowd is hype. Here comes Radnor, though, trying to come from behind. As I've mentioned, they've done so many times. The defense starting to collapse inside for the Prep. They want to make sure nothing gets inside. Smith, interesting pass. It's knocked loose. Duffy trying to come up with it, not able to. Goldstein swings it out. Here's Vitale. 43 seconds remaining. Here's Patron. Back to Vitale. Probably the most intense moment of the season so far for the St. Joseph's Prep Hawks. Here's Much. 30 seconds. Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, you might be on the other. She shot a goal. It is good by Patrol, no it's not! No it's not! Keegan Dunn saved it! It is not good! Keegan Dunn saved it! At the last second, Keegan Dunn comes in and saves it! Pass all the way upfield! 15 seconds! Radnor trying to make something happen. Gaffney with the stick checks. 9 seconds. Here comes Radnor. Here's Vitale. 5, 4, passes it. Smith, shot! Saved by Dunn! It is over! It is over! St. Joe's Prep upset Radnor! They come to King of Prussia and they win! That is how you do it if you are the St. Joe's Prep Hawks. That is St. Joe's Prep Lacrosse there, ladies and gentlemen. And they win it! The celebration on the field, electric. Wow. You gotta take a deep breath there, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta take a deep breath. I think the most scared I've been in that game. I saw the net move, but Keegan Dunn came in at the last second, barely saved the goal. I thought it was good. I probably scared every single person at home. Wow. What an ending to this lacrosse game. And I am so happy to call it. That was probably the best lacrosse game I've ever seen in my life. Whew. From myself, Ryan Sullivan, my cameraman, Bobby Wright, and my co-producers, Scarlett Stavloff of Mary Mercy and Kaylee McGee of the St. Monica School, we say thank you, have a good night, and go Prep.